We've got a path back here. We're going to see some more down below. So, winter purslane wild miner's lettuce, it's truly one of my favorite go-to to eat plants. This is probably my second favorite. Totally a gift to the planet. Arguably the highest protein content of any edible plant out here. Extremely high in minerals. This is so high in minerals. There's a beach up north that I pick, and it tastes like seaweed, slightly. A beach just south of that one, it comes out tasting fishy almost. Generally, it has a spinach-like flavor. It's very mild, very tasty. You would normally cook this, you guys, or dry it. Basically, anything you can think you'd put spinach in, you could put nettle in.
You can have
This is stinging nettle. I don't know why, but there's a little bit. I don't get stung by it much anymore. I don't know if it's, I just know that if you forage and eat stinging nettle, it seems like you get stung by it, so I'm not sure why. But when I do go to harvest it, you guys, I kind of use a pulling motion so that there's these little silica tubules on this leaf. They are full of it's bromic acid, and it's a neurotransmitter. So the bromic acid is what is burning, that burning sensation you get. The neurotransmitter is kind of an electrical tingling feeling. So if you go to harvest these guys without gloves, use a pulling motion. So you're folding those little tubules back and not injecting yourself.
Is it this right here?
This is actually the Himalayan blackberry.
Sorry.
No, you're good. In fact, take a good note. Himalayans are very heavily thorned, and even on the leaf. Oh, even on the leaf, yeah. So these guys, you're going to see these in vacant lots. They tend to grow in a caning fashion. Totally non-native, but this is a very common blackberry. And if we'll talk about trailing blackberry too, since we're here. But back to the nettle, you guys. This stinging people actually use this medicinally. People suffering from, there's a word for losing feeling in your skin.
Neuropathy?
Thank you, neuropathy. You hear a lot about it these days. So this can bridge the gap between nerves and get them firing again. So a lot of people physically sting themselves for neuropathy. Arthritis, people will physically sting themselves on purpose. I was told some people use this as an aphrodisiac, and I can't imagine, I don't go there. But having said that, you guys, this is a great plant. Stinging nettle doesn't sting anybody. There's nothing bad about it. It's if you're careless and you rub into it, you walk into it, you're going to get stung. It's its protection. Without the stinging ability, everything would just eat it. It wouldn't even be here. So back to more food stuff, you guys. You would dry this, use it as a nettle powder. In fact, when I make tacos, I add a good handful of dried nettle powder, a tablespoon of mushroom powder. That goes in my seasoning mix before I even start cooking. I add water to reconstitute it, and you now have a healthy super taco. But you can't taste the nettles, you can't taste the mushroom powder. In fact, the mushroom powder keeps your taco from dripping. It'll be the juiciest taco you've ever eaten. I try and eat this 2 or 3 times a week throughout the year. In the spring, I pick it fresh when it's really short. The leaves are nice and curly. And anything I can't eat fresh, I start drying and planning for my winter season. So green goddess soup, if you guys look up green goddess soup, this can be a main component to that, and it'll be delicious.
Green
what more can I say? Oh, here, you can eat this raw as well. So you can make a whole salad of raw nettle, or go a couple leaves at a time. But the important thing, just like when I said that pulling motion to fold the spines down, you want to break all these little tubules. If you've got a bag of this, you can beat the bag up, not in anger. You're just trying to break the little stickers here. No, totally joking. People say, how much do you roll it? Okay, roll it more than you think. Nobody likes to get stung on the tongue. But we can do that because we have the antidote right here, and we've done that with a couple classes. If you guys want to get stung, we have herb Robert. This is a common plant in suburban areas. It seems to be spreading everywhere.
Oh, that's the one with the pink flower. Oh, Robert, look at that.
What I like about, so herb Robert resolves stings just like plantain. It's my favorite go-to for nettle stings simply because it's always growing with them. It's not just what this looks like. Crush it and smell it, you guys. You'll never forget the smell. It's the pink flowered stuff here. And really, if you get stung by a nettle and it's bothering you,
Yeah.
Such a good smell.
Really neat. This
you know,
is
a lot of people
crazy
love it or
we
hate
are.
it. Yeah, it's very strong. It's very memorable. If you, this works on bee stings as well, other stings. For nettle, like I say, it's always growing with nettle. So I simply fold it up. I give it a twist, breaking it. You don't have to chew it because it tastes pretty bad. And I rub the affected area. Anybody on my tour has ever gotten stung by nettles, usually after 10 minutes of applying this, I don't hear anything more. Sometimes an hour later, they have to reapply. Truly, it really works great. You can also make a tea or a gargle with herb Robert for if you have gum disease, if you have some teeth problems, that you can gargle with it, or make an eye wash to treat mild eye infections. So really cool stuff. It's one of the only, in fact, it's the only plant that's held its common name for centuries. Herb Robert, really you can't miss this one. It's a good one.
I like the name.
Yeah, well, and I wonder who the guy was. You know, or was his name Herb? Or, you know, or is it Herb and his name was Robert? But yeah,
He goes
pretty
by Bob,
cool.
though. Yeah.
Right, or he goes by Bob.
Yeah.
Bob Robert. There you go. That's probably gonna mess me up now.
Herb Bob.
I got to get that one out
Yeah,
of my head.
Herb Bob.
Hey, you know, blackberries were mentioned to you guys. We have the Himalayan blackberry here. You'll see this stuff taking over vacant lots all over. In fact, it takes over nettle habitat. I don't dislike any plant, but this one certainly displaces some of our natives.
So you said it was non-native.
Non-native, it's Himalayan blackberry. And you know, in a few generations, we'll probably forget it was ever not native. But right next to us, we have trailing blackberry. Very different growth pattern. It's trailing simply because it is trailing along the ground. It will loosely climb, but we can see how long some of these vines are. They can get to be 15, maybe even 30 feet long. If you're out in the forest hiking through thick brush and you get thrown onto your face, it's probably this guy that has wrapped around your ankle. Very identifiable, very fine thorns, you guys. There's often a bloom of fungus on this. Very narrow leaves compared to this guy. These guys are kind of lobed. These guys more triangular and narrow. Always in threes though. Well, fives if you're talking that guy. If an old school pie person wants you to go out and pick berries for them to pick a pie, they're probably looking for native trailing blackberries. They look almost identical. These guys tend to be smaller, they tend to be denser, and they can be sweeter. They certainly make a better pie. Technically, the entire plant is edible, but you can't get past these thorns. However, you could eat these small leaves. Yeah, not very good. But if you're really hungry, you can eat the small tender leaves or tips off of these. One thing you can do is make a tea out of this that will taste mildly like blackberries. The thorns tend to point down if the growth tip is up in your hand.